Hello, hello, hello. Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Dr. Tandra Price. I am the founder, owner of Tap In Magazine, a global publication where we help entrepreneurs amplify their voice, tell their stories worldwide. I am your business moderator for this session of the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about businesses. Today, I have the pleasure to introduce to you Mrs. Cooper, who is an established instructor, speaker, and trainer dedicated to improving lives both professionally and personally. She was born and raised in Lockport, New York. She earned a full academic scholarship to Howard University, graduated with a BS in electrical engineering. With over 30 years of diverse experience in sales, marketing, and entrepreneurship, Mrs. Cooper started her home-based business in 1996 and has since designed hundreds of websites for various clients. As the first woman to chair the Buffalo Niagara Score chapter, she provides mentoring and training to small business owners. Mrs. Cooper is also a devoted volunteer, supporting her community initiatives and empowering others to achieve their potential. She's passionate about helping individuals grow. She embodies the spirit of servant leaders. I introduce to you Mrs. Cooper.
Hello, Tandra, Dr. Tandra.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining me for this fireside chat. Now, before we get started, is there anything that I missed that you really want to tell our audience about you?
No, I think it'll probably come out in the interview, the questions.
Okay, awesome. I always like to give that opportunity because sometimes we miss a little bit. So before we kind of dive in, I'm going to ask you just a few questions and listen, just full head into it. So can you tell us about your journey from your Lockport, New York to Howard University on a full academic scholarship and how that experience shaped your career?
Yes. So Lockport, New York is a small town, predominantly white, and I was an honor roll student. And I kept being called a token Black because there wasn't very many in my school. I was wondering what happened to you. There wasn't very many in my school that looked like me in the honors classes. So I was very well-rounded in high school, track, cheerleading, drama, as well as high in academics. So therefore, I had a couple of scholarship opportunities, and I chose Howard because I refused to believe that there weren't other smart Black people in this world. So that's why I chose, and it definitely shaped me to understand more about the world.
You know, it's so amazing. As I was reading your bio, we have something in common because my daughter also graduated from Howard University in electrical engineering, and now she is a design engineer for one of the large aircraft companies. So I totally understand exactly. So now you have 30 years of experience in the sales and marketing and entrepreneurship. What would you say was one of your most rewarding accomplishments from that?
I always have a lot of rewarding accomplishments from helping so many entrepreneurs, but I won't say ironically because nothing's arbitrary, and that will come out later why I say this, that I just had a one-to-one with a young man that I mentored, and he had to rack my memory 5 years ago. And I really remembered this young man because his mother was with him during the mentoring session. And so he was very sharp and wanted to get into a web design business. And so, of course, that was my wheelhouse. And so I mentored him, and he found me on LinkedIn, and he scheduled a one-to-one with me today. And he really just wanted to thank me for helping him and really focusing him. And he was saying a lot of things that he learned that I taught him that he implemented in his business. And so that was, he started it. And then I said, wait a minute, can I record you? So
that's a great testimonial, right?
Exactly. So he did. He let me hit record and I recorded it. And so that was such a blessing. And that's the main thing. People who mentor, when they're able to hear back from someone that they help, that's the greatest reward.
It really is. It's kind of almost an uplift for us. And listen, I love the fact that you said one of the most powerful tools is LinkedIn, and just getting that connection and knowing what you did just really kind of just elevates things even more for you. Yeah. Now, you started your home-based business. I mean, tell us a little bit what that's like, because I know that's kind of hard, kind of juggling, family, building your business. Tell us a little bit about what that was like.
Well, first of all, I did not intend to start a business at all. I was very successful as an engineer for Hewlett Packard, making six figures in my 30s. And I was married with small children. And it was actually my hairstylist that back in the 90s, this was before Vistaprint and Canva.
Okay.
So there wasn't very many options for custom creative marketing materials. And because I had learned how to do a lot of that by being in marketing with HP, unlike your daughter, after I got my degree, I decided I did not want to be doing design for any major company. I love technology, but I started to lean more towards my creative side. So HP had me in different roles. So anyway, I was in a marketing role at the time, and I did some really unique business cards for her. She shared them with some of the other hairstylists. They loved them. And then I just started getting referred, left and right. And so I was like, wow. So it started as a side hustle for me. And I was actually already working at home because I was so different at HP, meaning that there wasn't any project that they could give me that I couldn't master, that I couldn't, do it. But I was individual contributors. That's what they called it at the time. So I was always doing these individual projects. My husband had built me my own office. He built it off of the garage. So it was like you just go through the house. It was a attached garage. So he helped out a lot with the children and the family. He did all the cooking,
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's shout out to him.
Definitely. Well, shout out to my first husband now. But my second husband also. I let it be known. I that's a disclosure I give up front. I'm like, I don't cook, Yeah. Everything else, but I don't cook. So, but anyway, so what happened was I had started really building up this side hustle business, being a business card peddler, if you will, business card peddler, postcards, whatever. But I loved it. I loved it because I really saw that I was fulfilling a need, and it was the other side of me, the left brain, right brain. And I enjoyed it. So what happened was HP wanted to move me into management. And I had no interest in management. And so I said, I was young, I was in my 30s. I was, confident. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to go full time in my business. And that's what I did.
Listen, there's a good feeling that we can just say, especially at a young age, because a lot of times, what was the saying? You go to work, go to school, get a good job, go to work for a company for 30, 40 years. But now at such a young age, you was able to make that transition. I mean, and it's kind of funny too, when you were talking about, the right and left brain, I know engineers, they kind of think a little different, because I know my daughter does. She's in the film space, and I'm like, how do you turn that hat on and then turn that hat on and be creative at the same time? So amazing. Okay. So as a web designer who has created hundreds of websites, how has the digital landscape evolved since you began?
Well, as I mentioned, back in the 90s, this was like for the print, because my business started as print. I was doing print work. And then when I lived in California, and very expensive, but I was able to take advantage of the housing market at that time, because that's when it was a boom. Neither my husband or I at that time really didn't like California. And so what we decided was, we heard that there was a lot of opportunity for minorities in Atlanta, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
So what happened was, I originally said, okay, I need to try to support my print customers. We're going to move to Atlanta, but I wanted to support my California print customers. So I decided to learn how to do web design.
Okay.
Well, at that time, which was right around 2000, because that was 2000 when I left. That's when the no code websites started becoming popular. So you didn't really have to do a whole lot of coding and all of that, which I knew some how to do. But so I learned how to design websites, mainly, again, because I wanted to support my customers. But then I learned that was a whole nother revenue stream. So how it's changed is, when I started was when they first started with the no code, but now all technology, and then when we talk about AI, it has just made my life much easier, because if I really had to lean upon my engineering or coding or whatever, I could. But now I came about at a time where I could, skyrocket from the other web designers who were like old school web designers that were still doing coding, and I could use, and then the creativity, because this is when a lot of drag and drop technology was coming up. So I was coming on the scene at a much lower price, and getting stuff done quicker.
Yes. Well, it's kind of funny too, like that you mentioned, because I mean, if you look at now, like, again, my daughter talks about this engineering, Pythons and all that kind of stuff, the coding aspect of it, which was great, because you didn't really have to, wasn't like mandatory like it is now. Like, some of them can still do that same stuff without coding, but I mean, it's just amazing how that has evolved. And now that AI was already kind of out and about, but it's just more evident now.
It's available to the public, because that's what a lot of people, all these people who have this AI, oh my God, AI, it's taking over the world, blah, blah, blah. It's been in existence forever, but it's just now available to the public.
Asking a question about AI, do you think AI is going to be the takeover?
It's already existed. It's back to okay, if you think about cell phones.
Yes.
And
from the house phone to cell phones. Yeah.
Right. And there were people that swore they were not going to get cell phones, oh, there's no way in the radio, whatever waves and all of that.
Don't give me yes.
Yeah, and now you can't live without cell phones. And then think about just the internet altogether, buying stuff on the internet. I'm not putting my credit card on the internet. I'm not buying nothing on the internet. And now people, Amazon this, Amazon that, Uber this, or all of that, swipe. So how I feel about AI is that no different than any other technology, that a technology is only as it's only frightening, or it's only whatever if you don't enhance it and you don't use it. But it's not going to stop it.
Yes, I totally 100%. Okay, so with the common challenges that small business face right now in the digital marketing, how do you help them to overcome some of these obstacles that they're having to deal with right now?
Well, the biggest obstacle I feel with digital marketing is, again, because I've been in it for so long, that back in the 90s was still an era of shaking hands, getting to know people, let's go have coffee. That kind of business was done. Then when the .coms hit, because that's just when I started, when the .com hits, and there was that time of you could wake up in your pajamas, check your account, and thousands of dollars, all these transactions, because what happened was people were using the internet for mass marketing, and the consumer is the one that was getting taken advantage of. So you would get all of these emails and messages. If you were looking at a pair of red shoes on one site, then any place you went, you was going to see red shoes. Because all of that is behavioral targeting. All of that was AI used then. So I'm almost trying to remember what the question was. I know where I was going with this was.
Well, that's really true, because if you think back, I'm not to interrupt you though, but if you think back to back then, no one really understood that was the connection to AI. Like you said, the shoes, like we pop up like, how did this come up on my web browser? Because that was a part of AI already. See, I think kind of what the change is right now is that it's now able to do the writing for you.
It's in the hands of the consumer. That's really what the difference is. And so this was the point. I think the question was that what do I see is the issue with the entrepreneurs and digital marketing. So what it is that some of the old school entrepreneurs that started with the trajectory of online and digital, they and the ones that were making money back when you could with just doing mass marketing and mass emailing, that doesn't work anymore. People are inundated, they're fed up with it. You turn on your email, your computer, and you got 100 emails. It's dead. It's what do you call it? It's just like it's
saturated.
Oversaturated. It's oversaturated, but what I'm saying is it's null. It's like you're just null to it now with all of the emails. So the entrepreneurs, the new ones that are coming up today, that are trying to use old school marketing methods, mass marketing, they're getting frustrated because they don't realize that this doesn't work. But then you've got these old school marketing people that are selling you it, telling, 10x your business. All you got to do is do this, get this landing page, this click funnel, this email. Blah, blah, blah. So they're trying to sell all of this to people who don't know and don't realize, and they're spending a lot of money on stuff that doesn't work. So what works today is you have to marry technology with personality. And you have to realize that you have to network. The networking is easier because yes, you can get on Zoom calls, you can get on these virtual calls, you can do now it's not when are you available? Are you available Wednesday at this time? No, I'm not available. You go on a calendar link. So using technology the right way can make you more effective, but you can't think that you're gonna grow your business by sitting behind a computer or not getting in front of people and just, blasting stuff out. That's the thing that I teach and I try to get entrepreneurs to understand is your brand, who you are, your personal touch is going to make the difference.
Oh my goodness. Look, me and you, I know this energy was just good between us. You know what I'm saying? Because I say that all the time, as I'm a network strategist, and you know what? The old school did used to work, but now this new school is much more effective, efficient, faster. And you get to know so much about people. Like, we don't have to sit there at the coffee shop waiting on our prospect, hopefully potentially coming. And then when they do come, we don't have to spend hours and hours. 15, 20 minutes, our conversation's over with, and look how many you can get within that hour. So I totally understand where you're coming with the power of networking.
Well, you brought up a good point though, that I want to emphasize again, is that the old school, it's you know what? The people who are successful today, the entrepreneurs that are successful today, are the ones that know how to old school and put it with the new school, with the technology. So what you said is now if somebody emailed you or if somebody gave you a referral, you can look them up. You can look them up on LinkedIn, look up their Facebook, their website. You could do all of this research. You should do all of this research so that, yes, when they come into the coffee shop or whatever, you don't have to go, well, tell me about yourself. What do you do? Where you grow? You already can make those connections and progress and move it forward. You already know, wow, I saw that you do this. We could collaborate on this, So
I mean, you're able to find your ideal target, your client much quicker and easier, because a lot of times, we set appointments. I get all the time, networking doesn't work for me. Well, one, again, like you said, we're not even doing the proper research, but two, are you talking to the right clients?
Right.
And that old school didn't really allow us to circumvent all that information.
Right.
And then people would get to the appointment. Oh my God, I wasted 30, 40 minutes sitting here and we have nothing in common. Or I can't even refer them because it's not there. So yeah, I totally understand.
And let's not forget, now we've broken location barriers. So it's no more coffee shop. People are saying, let's have a coffee talk, but you could be talking to somebody in a whole nother state, a whole nother country.
Yes. I mean, and not only that, just how technology is moving. And, people used to do that 9 to 5. Okay. We go to work 9 to 5. That's it. But now, because of this World Wide Web and all this other stuff, I mean, business is happening 24/7.
Yes.
And, this doesn't allow us to stop. It allows us to keep growing. Oh my God, this is so good. Okay. So listen, so your talent for simplifying complex marketing concept. Could you share a few examples of how you broke things down for your clients?
Well, I'll share the one example that I use all the time, because this is the one that a lot of entrepreneurs don't understand. The first, and it's across all whatever websites. Okay. So for a lot of entrepreneurs, if they've never had a website before, they don't understand that there's 3 main components. You've got your website, your domain, and your hosting. Okay. So a lot of them, they never really understood it. So I break it down like a cell phone. I tell them, think about your cell phone. Okay. You have your cell phone that has all of your data, all your information, all your contacts on it. Then you have your cell phone number, which is how people reach you. And then you got to pay a cell phone provider to be able to talk to anyone. So a website, your website is like your actual cell phone that has all your data, your information. Your phone number is your domain name. Only one person can have that domain name. Just like only one person can have that phone number. So when they're dialing that number, they're getting you and not someone else. And then you have to pay hosting, just like you have to pay a cell phone provider for someone to be able to access your website. Then they're like, oh.
Sometimes we got to break it down in different terminology, okay? A lot of times they don't understand those particular steps, because I know a lot of times, even, for some of my clients, they'll go do all this other stuff. But then when you go to click on it, it ain't working.
Yeah.
Like it's come back, reroute or something, it'll say on the site, because like you said, those 3 things, you have to have them. It's a part of that. What do you think about when it's coming to design? What are some of those steps about designing their website to making sure that it's fitting their brand?
Well, first of all, see, I exclusively work with solopreneurs. I love working with solopreneurs. I worked for a digital marketing agency for 12 years where we did mid-sized to larger companies, and I just love my solopreneurs. So when it comes to web design, most solopreneurs honestly don't need a website. And what I mean by that is a website usually is a number of pages. And everybody's been taught to, say, well, your home page, your products, your about, and your contact. Well, a lot of solopreneurs just getting started, that could all be done on one page. Woo. And, and because otherwise they're fabricating what's the word? Platitudes. They're fabricating a bunch of platitudes to fill up space. You know, we do the best of the such and such and what. You're just like, you're not saying nothing, you know. So the what I recommend again is branding yourself. So don't spend a whole lot of time trying to come up with some creative logo or a name or whichever. Like, even though my name says Arba, digital technologist, that's just saying my name is going to be somewhere in there. I don't care, Arba something, because so that people know, oh, that's Arba, you know, because they all know Arba. Digital technologist, it just lets people know, okay, I'm not selling herbs and spices or, you know, lotions, potions, or whatever.
Yeah, lotions, potions. That's right.
Yeah, something to do with technology. So what's most important is to brand yourself. And I did a session on Dr. Eric Kelly. I did the whole session was on branding yourself. That stop trying to hide behind a lot of entrepreneurs, they come from corporate America, and they still believe this corporate thing. They believe they got to have this great logo, some great business name, and all of that, and they get buried. They get lost. They get lost because people want to do business with people. They're doing business with you as a person. You go to their Facebook, LinkedIn, or whatever, and they got their logo for their profile picture. They got their logo everywhere. So after a while, you're like, who is this person? Why are they hiding? You know, so that's my advice is when someone comes to your, whether it be your website or your social media, it needs to be inviting. You need to promote yourself first and foremost before anything else, because there's nothing new under the sun. I don't care what business you're in or whatever you're doing, somebody can get it from somebody else. So the only thing that's going to help them make a decision to get it from you is you. How different are you? How clear are you making you? There's a whole bunch of web designers out there. I'm not trying to compete with all the other web designers. I want people who say, I like her. She got a lot of spunk. She's kind of crazy. I could, you know, or whichever. Then fine. You're going to, because I'm the person you're going to need to communicate with.
I just know the good connection, Dr. Kelly, good connection. Listen, because no, I mean, people, it's hard for people to understand. I mean, that's just like I say, you know, you go to a networking event. Listen, there's a ton of insurance agents, but why do I want to work with you? Why would I want to take you as to be my insurance agent? Because we have to show who we are. You're right, and quit hiding behind all that stuff. Right. You know, I know it needs to look aesthetically pleasing. I do know that, but I'm just saying at the same token, like, who are you and why do I want to give you my business?
Right. What's your journey? Why are you even like for instance, the people, they're weight loss. Okay. Yeah. There's people that want to sell weight loss potions and all this stuff, and they just want to give you all of the ingredients of this and why it's good for you and not. But what did it do for you? Why are you selling this? If you tell me you weighed 300 pounds and you tried everything and whatever, and then you found this and you showing me before and afters of yourself, then I'm like, okay, give me what you got. Have
conversation.
Now, how they say, I want to drink. Give me what she drinking. You know,
that right there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so why do you believe mentoring is so important for entrepreneurs, and how has SCORE helped you impact small business owners?
Oh my gosh, mentoring is important for everyone. I don't care if you are brand new in business or you've been in business for years. I don't care if you are a multi-million dollar CEO. If you're trying to be a multi-million dollar, then you need to, because the best way I understood, best way I heard anybody say it is, and I'll probably mess it up, but she said, you cannot read the label inside the jar.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
It was something.
You can
It was something like that. You can
write that down.
Yes, it was something like that. I might have butchered a little bit, but if you're if it's your business and you are running it day in and day out and you're doing all of this stuff, you can't see what other people see. And that's why mentoring is so important at every level, so that someone can bring to life. You know what? I cannot tell you how many times that I've been on a Zoom call. I schedule a Zoom call with a potential customer, and I'm trying to show them something on my website, right? So I'll say, okay, and I'll share the screen. Let me go to my website and let me show you this. And then I'm like, where is this? And why did I do it like that? And so I'm like, I said, geez, I just realized I don't even have this on the front of the page like I thought I did. So it's that kind of thing, that until you are someone else, another set of eyes on it, you don't know what's missing. You don't know how it's coming across to other people. And you really want to obviously get a mentor. I strongly believe in mentors and coaches. The Kobe's and the Kobe's, the all of the great athletes and everyone, they all got coaches.
They all got coaches. I mean, that's how they be successful. Listen, the mentor on the mentors got to have mentors. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to always be in a space of personal development. And we also have to be in a space of being teachable. A lot of times, we think, I don't know, even though I'm the networking ninja, I still don't know all it is to networking. And I want to be open to that. So guess what? Just like you said, when something comes up, I've maybe been doing it this way, but someone else can say, here, you can better effectively communicate it if you do it this way.
Right.
So you have to have an open mind to that. Like, what is it being coachable and teachable? So I totally understand. I listen, coaches, mentors, you need to have them. To me, it's a hand down.
Yes.
Okay. So what are some of the skills you've gained from working with a digital marketing agency, and how have they influenced your approach as an entrepreneur?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the digital marketing agency I was with focused on mid-sized to larger companies. And first of all, what I learned there is the ability, nothing's better than on-the-job training. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's where I was able to learn. I did sales, cold calling, email marketing, of course, web design, social media, and started doing a little bit of video, but not as much as now. So one of the things why I left the digital marketing agency is that these mid-sized clients were paying thousands of dollars for a monthly marketing program. And one of my jobs was to call the owner and set up what's a discovery call to find out more about their business, to know how to do their marketing. So when I would, first of all, it was almost impossible to set up a meeting, because they would always, I don't have time. And so then when I would set up a meeting and I would start to ask them questions that would help me to develop a good marketing plan, most of the time they would say, that's what I'm paying you for. Why? Just get me clients, get me leads. That's what I'm paying you for. So they didn't even want to engage in a conversation because they didn't know that it was to help them. So the result was that plumbers, let me give you an example of plumbers. If we had two clients that were plumbers and neither one of them had time to engage with us to say, what makes your business different than the next one? Then guess what? Their marketing campaigns look the same.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be the same.
All we did was change the logo. And who's to blame?
You know what? You know what? We have to do the work. We have to take time out to make sure that we're seeing what's out in the market and what our competitors are doing.
Or just engage. The thing is this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying to all of you business owners out there. Don't think you get so big that you can't talk to somebody, because if you are paying, this is the thing, if you are paying someone to do your marketing, then you need to spend time with that person so they can understand your business. Nobody is going to understand your business better than you. So you cannot expect that they're going to know how to market your business if you're not even taking time to tell them about your business. That's why I left that marketing agency, because I said, I can't keep, I'm doing a disservice and I don't want to be a part of this. So that's why my audience, my preference is solopreneurs. So I can talk directly to them. And I'm like, who else they going to throw me off on? And believe me, I have clients, excuse me, who've been with me since 2003. And they've been with me because they know I'm going to be for real with them. When they just say, Arba, can you just do this? I'm like, no, I can't.
I cannot.
Not with you not giving me nothing to go on.
But and here's the thing too, things are changing and evolving, and you want your business to change along with that. Like, let's strategize on what's new. How can we do something different?
Right.
A lot of times I'm with you. Please, if you're paying somebody for your marketing, take the time out and spend a little time, because listen, I can only make you as good as you want to get. Right. And people have to understand that and not let that just be my sole responsibility. I know you're paying me, but you know what? We got to work together. Oh my God. Okay. So what do you see as the biggest opportunity for small businesses in today's digital market? What do you see as the biggest opportunity for them?
They need to embrace AI, learn AI, play with it. You'll find that you can do so much more with it than without it.
Yes. I totally agree. What do you think about, just a little side note, what do you think about people or entrepreneurs incorporating some cybersecurity into their fold?
Oh, everybody needs cybersecurity, even more now so than before, because but you have to be careful though, because here's the thing. I have never, this is just me, but I never install virus protectors on my computer, because the people who create the virus protection software are the same ones that hack it. And I've been using computers for over 30 years, and I follow that policy. I've never had my computer crash. I've never had all of these things that people talk about that happen with their, but I'm just like,
well, I like to ask that question, because you know what? I think a lot of times as us being entrepreneurs, just even understanding the aspect of it, what that data looks like and how we collect it as well, into what we're doing. Awesome. Okay. So as a speaker or trainer, what are the main areas you focus on to help others improve their life professionally and personally?
Well, I actually host a free training every Tuesday. I have a group called Vision Doers.
Okay.
And it's every Tuesday, 5:00 Eastern. And either I do training or I bring in guest speakers, because I don't know. I'm marketing. I know marketing, but I don't know. I'm not like a life coach, and I'm not a financial advisor or none of that stuff. So I've created a safe environment for entrepreneurs to really be able to get their questions answered. And I make sure that all of my speakers, and including myself, that we are talking at a level of a solopreneur. Because if a solopreneur goes out on YouTube, or if they watch any other webinar, many times they're talking at a level like your staff, you can have your staff be more productive, or you can do this with your blah, blah, blah. And and so it's like over their head, and they're not relating. So that's what I do, is to help by having that resource for them.
I love it, because I always say, listen, we don't network for ourselves. We network for the next person. And I like the fact that you have these classes or these workshops, because it helps just we don't want to lead people astray. And
Right.
we don't want to lead our clients astray, because there are some things that they really need to know and understand. And by
Mhm.
you providing this amazing resource, it is awesome. Now, okay, say it again. You do it every Tuesday?
It's every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, visiondoers.com.
Visionsdoors.com. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. So you work with entrepreneurs across many industries. Are there common traits you see in those who succeed? We might have answered that, but we can say it again.
And those that succeed, that yes, they need to be trainable, coachable, try new things, not be so stuck in their own ways. But what I see more so is the ones that don't succeed are the ones who don't define a clear target audience, and they don't have a market dominating position. So that means that they just come out there and they say, I got something for everybody. Everybody can use my product, or, everybody can use this. And then they don't differentiate themselves in the market. That those are the two big killers.
Killers. That's right. Because listen, everybody's product ain't for everybody.
Right.
And then what was the saying? If you feel like you're selling your product to everybody, then you really ain't got no product.
Right. Nobody.
Okay,
Yep.
that right there. Okay, so just a couple more questions. As a devoted volunteer in your community, could you share some of the community initiatives that you're most passionate about?
Yes, that I did training at a community center, at a local community center. It was they had a great computer lab, and so I would offer, again, it was free training. I'm not doing that now. This is before COVID, just getting it ramped up, but it was an ability for the community, and it was in a certain part of the community, to come in and get computer training, and to learn skills that they need for their personal job and business.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so what are the, I'm gonna ask you, just listen, y'all hang out with us, because this is some juicy, good topic. Okay, this is the chat. Okay. What are the key qualities that define a servant leader, and how do you embody this approach in your work?
I think a true servant leader is, you have to come to a point to really understand your God-given gifts, and then how to apply those God-given gifts to people. You got to believe that there are people that are praying for the solution that you have. And so what I mean by that, or to explain that further, there are people who create a service or whatever, and then they think that they're going to find somebody to sell it to, right? That's not servanthood. Servant is like what happened to me. I was successful. I was a successful engineer working for HP. I'm good. But my hairstylist needed something. And by helping her, it ended up that God was already preparing me, because I didn't want to, be a manager at HP. So I just looked all along the way. And a little shameless plug, my book.
Yes, I was gonna say, look, what other information that you have that you can give us, or that they can go get connected with you?
Not arbitrary. That's why I said this word earlier.
Your name will be everywhere.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. Look, it's not even 50 pages, and it includes pictures. So I put pictures in there. But I'm sorry. What this is my journey to my leaps. I call it my leaps of faith to a purposeful life. And every chapter is based on Romans 12 of living sacrifice. Make your body a living sacrifice. And this is the journey that I had to learn. So when you talk about a servanthood life, that I say, everyone has a purpose in life. We were not created to live randomly or by choice. So it talks about how I made some choices and some mistakes, made some choices that I didn't understand. Let's say that I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. And I understand that everything was for a reason and a purpose. And when you can know for sure that the business that you're doing is serving a real purpose, not your purpose, not monetary, but to fulfill someone else's need, then that's a servanthood life.
Well, I love that, because you know what? It's not about the money. It's not about the money, but it is about the money. I think the more that you can serve and help someone else, it just all flows. I mean, like, you don't have to go search for it. You ain't got to hunt for it, because like you said, when you're passionate about it and you can really help impact and change someone else's life by what you're doing, the blessings is going to flow.
And the best answer that my pastor had explained it is, instead of calling it money, stop calling it money, call it currency.
Ooh.
And then there's heavenly currency. So meaning, if you start thinking about currency, then you realize that what you may do here for this person, you may not get it back directly from that person, but everything is currency. So that my health is currency. You know, that I don't have to pay doctors or worry about being sick, because I've done these things. So it's all about currency. And if you have currency flowing in your life, then you're good.
You know what? You have made me change some stuff to my presentation, because I'm going to throw that. I swear to you, I'm going to throw that in there, because that is so true. You know what? Our good health, our sense, our peace of mind.
Yeah.
Having the right mentality is currency.
Yes.
You got to know what that feels like when you can, get up and move and shake a leg or two. And you know what I'm saying? That's that right mentality.
Right.
Okay,
right.
This has been an amazing fire chat. I mean, it's been fire. We've been on fire. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
Before we go, what advice would you give an inspiring entrepreneur who is just starting out on their journey? I know we kind of said it, but you might got a little bit more fire.
Yeah, to really understand their why. Why are they doing what they're doing? Because that's what's going to get you up. That's what's going to keep you going. That's what's going to make you make that phone call. That's what's going to make you work late at night is the why. And the why does not necessarily have to be directly related to what you're doing. Your why could be that you have young kids that you want to not have them struggle, or not, you want to be able to, there's some, a lot of people get into these little side businesses because they just want to buy some extra gifts, or buy something or whatever. So the why doesn't have to be that, let me turn this around and say, I'm selling this water because I believe in this water, but no, it could be like, I'm selling this water because I need a new car, or I need to pay, that's the why. That's what's going to motivate you. So, that's what's
supposed to wake you up. It's supposed to scare you. You know what I'm saying? Your why ain't good enough. It ain't scaring you. Like, if it's not gonna wake you up, scare you, and help you make a change. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. We want to make a change for the better for our lives and for the people that are around it, and to be that amazing servant leader.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, this has been so good. Now,
we're gonna have to have a one-to-one.
Listen, because I'm gonna need you right now. I'm gonna need you. Now, how can our audience connect with you? Give them some ways, some links to connect with you.
Well, one of my links is right there. That's the arbadt.com. That's arbadigitaltechnologist.com. And then also arbacooper.com. So girl, back to make it easy. Make it easy. I'm not trying to hide behind no names, not other than my own.
I love it. Listen, you know what? As I always say, just keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Don't throw no extra juju, juice, or nothing on it. Just
right. Yep, that's it. arbacooper.com or arbadt.com.
And your book can be found on
Amazon.
Okay.
And look it up by my name. Don't try to look it up by the book name, because they're going to try to spell correct it. Not arbitrary, because arbitrary is spelled with an I. So hey, I only got one book. So You'll find it like that.
Again. Well, listen, thank you so much for being here at this Fireside Chat. Y'all, this has been fire. I hope you had your pencil and paper, taking a lot of good nuggets. And I want to make sure that you guys join her every Tuesday. Go to visiondoers.com. Get all this good information because we need it. Listen, this is the last quarter of the year. We're going into 2025 and you want to be prepared and ready.
Yes.
Make sure that you got your web design done good. All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Cooper. I appreciate you. Look, comment, and I think we'll see each other on the other side. I think all we have to do is leave the studio. Bye.